Hello, it's our last lesson on line graphs today, and today we're going to be doing something called interpreting line graphs. Now, what does to interpret a line graph mean? Well, that word interpreting a line graph means thinking, I've written it here, it means thinking, what is this line graph really telling me? Overall, what's the story of the line graph? And you're going to have to look at line graphs and think, is this telling me a good story or a bad story? Is there anything unusual? Is there anything surprising going on? And we're also going to look at some slightly more complicated bar graphs where there are two lines on the bar graph. So let's have a look. Okay, we're starting with a quick quiz. Pause the video, see if you can fill in the gaps. Right, let's look at these then. A line graph shows changes over time. One thing changing over time. So the first thing to do when you get a line graph is to look at not the time this time, it's the title. The title at the top. That'll start to tell you what it's about. Then look at the x-axis. And the x-axis, does it go across or up and down? Well, it goes across. The x-axis is the axis that goes across the bottom. I always remember that because the letter X is a cross shape, isn't it? It's two lines that cross each other. So the x-axis is that axis going across. Then look at the y-axis, which does it go across or up and down? Well, hold on. X goes across, so y goes up and down. And I remember that by knowing that the letter Y is a letter that is a descender. It goes down and then up on the other side. So, X is across and the Y-axis goes up. And the X-axis is normally time and the Y-axis will tell us what we are measuring. Are we measuring the pounds, the temperature? I wonder. Well, let's look at our first thing. And in this graph, we're going to need to see. Let's see what has changed. And now we've got to really think about interpreting the graph. So we have to work out the story that this line is telling us. Really thinking, is it what we expect? Does it look good? Okay, so what does this line graph tell us? Well, let's look at the title first. Remember, look at the title. This says weight of Buddy the puppy. Okay, it's a puppy. And we've got a bit of information here that tells us Buddy the puppy is weighed every month at the vet's as part of his normal checkups. And there's a bit more information here, which is important. It is normal and healthy for puppies to grow quickly in their first year of life. And I've got a picture here that shows how a puppy can go from being born here, and by about 1 year, you've already got a dog that's maybe not completely full size, but already a good sized dog. It takes dogs maybe 1 year to grow into most of their size. And that means that for a healthy puppy, we expect that puppy to get heavier quite quickly, because getting heavier shows that that puppy is putting weight on, getting bigger, getting heavier. That's what young animals should be doing. So let's look at this. On the next page, remember, we've got the weight of Buddy the puppy. So let's look at the lines here. So We looked at the title. Yeah, that was the first thing we did. And we read that extra information. Now we've got to look at the age too, along the bottom. Age of Buddy the puppy. So 1 what? 1 month. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. So it finishes when Buddy is 10 months old. And what's this here? The third thing to look at, the y-axis, the kilograms. Kilograms, how heavy Buddy the puppy is. So after 1 month, Buddy is, well, halfway between 0 and 5. Okay, he's 2.5 kilos. Now look, just 1 month later, here, his weight has gone up and he is more than 5 kilos. 5, maybe 6 kilos. Well, that's good. He's put on 3.5 kilos. And then in the 3rd month, remember we're going 3, so we're going up now. Here, 9 kilos. Then we can see that line going up quite steeply. That's really good. That's what we want. He's getting bigger and heavier quite quickly. Well, what happens here? Now, that's not what we hope to see for a puppy. That puppy should be keep on getting bigger quite quickly. What happens? That line goes, it's not so steep anymore, is it? It's flattening out. And actually, we can tell that Buddy is putting on weight only slowly. And now this bit here, from the 7th month to the 8th month, this bit is going down. And a puppy shouldn't be losing weight. So, I think Buddy has done really well here. He's getting much bigger up to about 5, maybe 6 months. But I wonder why he lost weight. Well, maybe he was ill. Because look, after that we see that weight go back up. And just like it was growing quite steeply before, we can see it goes quite steeply. So I think he was ill. Maybe he was ill, or there was some problem that he stopped putting on weight, stopped growing up. Maybe he wasn't getting enough food. Maybe he was ill. Perhaps he got some treatment. Maybe they took him and I don't know, maybe he got some medicine or treatment here, because we can see that change and he starts to get better afterwards. Now, I'm going to show you another line. This is for a different dog. This one is Elf the puppy. Elf the puppy's weight. So, have a look at that line, pause the video. What would you say about how Elf the puppy is doing over this time? Well, we can see that it's, first thing to look at, Elf the puppy. We can see that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. Just like Buddy, but this is a different line. Elf the puppy starts off in October, 8 kilos. Starts off nice and big. So he wasn't a tiny puppy. He wasn't a baby. 8 kilos, not a baby. But this weight, we want to see it going up, because we want that puppy to be getting bigger and stronger and heavier. But the weight is going down, then stable, then down, down. Ooh. Now look, between 8 kilos, this is the 8 kilo line here, 8 kilos, he goes down to 3 kilos. So, what do you think? Look, his weight has gone down. Down by how much? It's gone down by 5 kilos. Well, that means that puppy was quite a Elf was quite a sick dog. But look, that line then goes back up, and he might have a little bit of a problem here, but then we see the line starting to go back up. So I think Elf the puppy was quite an ill dog, maybe very seriously ill, but it looks to me like we hope that now that he's putting weight back on again, that Elf will be okay. Alright, we're going to look at our second kind of line graph now, and this is a line graph which has got two different lines on it. And here we're looking at the story of the tortoise and the hare. Do you know the story of the tortoise and the hare? In the story they have a race. Is it a real story? Well, is it a real thing that happened? No, it's a very famous fable. You probably know the story of the tortoise and the hare, but just in case you don't, I've written it down here. So, in the story, the hare is a very fast creature, and the tortoise, we all know how slow tortoises are, well, they decide to have a race. The hare is much faster. He thinks he's going to win easily, but he is overconfident. He sprints off fast as you can, and he is a long way ahead, and then he relaxes. He thinks this is easy. He lies down for a little rest, goes to sleep. The tortoise is going along quite slowly, but never stops and overtakes the hare. The hare wakes up just when the tortoise is about to cross the finish line. He runs his fastest to try and catch up with the tortoise, but just loses. So, it's not a real story, but this line graph imagines the story. So we've got two different lines here to look at first. The purple line shows the tortoise. So this purple line here is the tortoise, and the red line is the hare. The blue line across the top is the finish line. The first person to get to that is the winner. We must always look at the axes, so this tells us how long the race lasted. Time in minutes. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes is 1 hour, and this on the y-axis tells us the distance. 500 metres, 1,000 metres, 1,500, 2,000 metres, and that's the finish line. So the race is 2,000 metres, 2 kilometres. So, first question, how long does it take the hare to run 1,000 metres? Okay, what do you think? Can you see? How long does it take the hare to run 1,000 metres? Well, have you tried to work it out? I hope so. So, to run 1,000 metres, let's look for the 1,000 metres line and we go along. So 1,000 metres, oops, hold on, sorry, silly me. To run 1,000 metres, we go along here, we say 1,000 metres, here's the 1,000 metre line, so we're going across, that's the hare's line, so let's now go down to see the time. Okay, when we go across and go down, it takes the hare 10 minutes. How long does it take the tortoise to run 1,000 metres? Well, let's go along from the 1,000 metres line to here. Oh, okay. If we go down, well, my goodness. Well, that here would be 25 minutes, so a little bit less than 25 minutes. It takes the tortoise 24 minutes. Can you see? We're going across the 1,000 metre line to see where it crosses. Who is ahead after 40 minutes? Let's look. So this time we're looking for the time in minutes, 40 minutes. Who is ahead after 40 minutes? We're going to go up. Okay, well, after 40 minutes, this is the hare. Oh, look, the hare went off really fast. Can you see what happened here, though? He's gone really, really fast to get to 1,500 metres, but this line is now flat, showing he's not going any further. This is the bit where he's asleep. Okay, so who's ahead after 40 minutes? We go up 40 minutes. Well, the hare has gone 1,500 metres, but look, the turtle is further. He's gone, I should think that's probably 1,750 metres. So, it's not the turtle, sorry, the tortoise. How far ahead are they? Well, probably the difference between 1,500 and 1,750. So the turtle is 250 metres ahead. Okay. This is part of your work, so I'm going to just show it to you now. It's the journey of a car, and in this, the Jones family go on a very long drive. They actually drive, goodness me, all the way from here, which is 0 kilometres, from home, setting off from home. The y-axis shows us distance from home, 100 kilometres, 200 kilometres, 300 kilometres. So altogether they drive 350 kilometres. So the line starts on 0 because they're setting off from home. It finishes on 350 kilometres when they arrive. And let's look at the x-axis. We must do that. 8 a.m. is when they start. 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 a.m. Oh look, the line goes flat between 12 and 1. They haven't gone any distance between 12 and 1. I wonder why. Then the line goes back up. So look, we can see them driving. Something happens between 12 and 1. They don't go any further. Then they start driving again. And one of your jobs in this work is going to be to write down beside each letter A, B, C, D and E what you think could be happening in this part of the journey, the car journey. Sure, you've all been on long car journeys with your parents. Then we've also got some of your work. We've got something which is about a bit like the one we did before with Elf and Buddy. We've got the weight of Paws the puppy, and we've got some questions for you to think about for that. And then we've got some harder questions about the story of the tortoise and the hare. Try your best on the level 2. They're tricky, but you will be doing that quite a lot more in year 5 and year 6 as well. So don't stress if it's tricky. Give it your best go. See you soon, everyone. Bye.